Assalamu alaikum students. So for practice set 1.1 already we have completed. Before starting with the next practice set, that is 1.2, we will see the theorem which we will going to use for the practice set 1.2. So today very important theorem we'll going to see. Many times this theorem is asked in board exam for 3 to 4 marks. Now the name of the theorem is basic proportionality theorem. In short form, it is known as BPT also. But from last year, the short form is not acceptable. Every time we will use the full form only. For remembering, you can remember it, that is BPT. BPT is nothing but basic proportionality theorem. But never use this short form. Every time you have to write the full form only, that is basic proportionality theorem. As you know that theorem has some steps. So step number 1 is nothing but the statement. So now we'll see what is the statement of the theorem. So here the statement is, if a line parallel to a side of a triangle intersect the remaining side in two distinct points, then the line divide the side in the same proportion. So as you know that by reading only the statement, we don't know what is given to us and what we have to prove. So again we will read the statement carefully and we will find the information which will help us to draw the figure. So if we will see here, the statement is given in if and then type. That means the statement of the theorem is given in conditional form. So it is if and here then. The statement between if and then is nothing but for given. And the statement after then will be for to prove. As I have explained you earlier also, if the statement is written in if and then, it is called conditional statement. The statement which is between if and then, that means this statement will be used for drawing the figure and also writing given. And the statement which is after then will be used for writing to prove. So now for drawing the figure, we have to concentrate only on the statement or between if and then. So now we'll read it again. A line, that means we have to take one line which should be parallel, okay, to a side. That means we have to take one line in such a way that it will be parallel to any one side of a triangle. So here we have got the information that we have to take one triangle. So first of all we will take one triangle. So here first of all I have taken one of a triangle according to this statement, a triangle. Okay. After taking this triangle, now we have to select any one side. As we know that the triangle is having three sides. So first of all I'll give the name to the triangle. So I'm giving the name to the triangle is triangle ABC. So here three sides are there, AB, BC and AC. Out of the three sides, we have to select any one side. A side is given. So I will select the side BC. Now of this selected side, that means a side BC, we have to take a line which is parallel to that side. So here we will take a line in such a way that it should be parallel to BC. So BC is here. Definitely if we will take a line, it will come from this side. So they will become parallel to each other. So now we will draw a line. So here we have taken one of a line. So I'll give the name to this line is line L. So we can say then line L is parallel to side BC. Now whenever we are drawing this line is intersecting the side AB and AC at two distinct points. So we can give some points also to this point of intersection. So I'll give the point P as well as Q. So here again we'll read the statement, a line. So we have taken one line L which is parallel to a side. So this line L is parallel to one of the side, that is BC, and of a triangle. Obviously we have taken all these things in a triangle. Intersect the remaining side. So this line is intersecting remaining side, that is side AB as well as side AC in two distinct points. Exactly, it is intersecting at point P and Q. So P and Q are two distinct points. So till here, that means before then, between if and then, all the thing of this statement, each and every word we have used. So here our figure is with us. So whatever we have taken in the figure, now the description of the figure we will write in the next step, and next step is nothing but given. First of all, what we have taken while we are drawing the figure, we have taken one of a triangle, that is triangle ABC. So we will start our statement of the given with triangle ABC only. So in triangle ABC, after drawing a triangle, we have drawn a line. Which line we have taken? That is line L. So we will write about line L, that line L is parallel to side BC. Okay, again I will repeat. In triangle ABC, line L is parallel to side BC, and also this line is intersecting two sides. So we'll write line L intersecting the side AB and side AC at the point P and Q respectively. Okay, so whatever we have taken in the figure, all the thing is covered in given. Again I'll repeat the statement. Listen here carefully. In triangle ABC, line L is parallel to side BC and intersecting the side AB and AC at the point P and Q respectively. So now we'll see what is our given. So next step is nothing but given. So see here, the given is in triangle ABC, line L is parallel to side BC and line L intersect the sides, two sides, that is AB and AC at the points P and Q respectively. So same statement which I have explained you in the figure, it is we have taken for the given. Again I will repeat it. In triangle ABC, line L is parallel to side BC and line L intersect the sides AB and AC at the point P and Q respectively. So here we have completed statement, figure, given. After given, the next step is to prove, and we know that for writing to prove, we'll read the statement after then. So now we'll see after then, the line divides the side. Exactly this line L dividing the side AB and AC. First of all, it was only AB. Now it is divided in two parts, that is AP and PB. Similarly, side AC is also divided in two parts, that is AQ and QC. So divide the side in the same proportion. First of all, we're going to see what is the meaning of the proportion. Proportion means if we are having here one of the ratio, for example A upon B, and we are having the another ratio, the first ratio is A upon B. If I am having the another ratio, for example C upon D. So here two ratios are there. This is first ratio, so it is ratio 1. And this is the second ratio, so it is ratio 2. So whenever the two ratios are equal, then all these terms will be in proportion. So this is the difference between the ratio and the proportion. Whenever the two ratios are equal to each other, all these four component we can say, or the elements of the ratio are in proportion, or we can say both the ratio is in proportion. So exactly in same way we have to use here also. So then the line divides the side. So what will be the ratio on one side? Exactly AP upon PB. And what will be the ratio on the other side? That is AQ upon QC. So we'll take that only. The first ratio will be AP upon PB. So we can write here The first ratio is AP upon PB. The next ratio will be AQ upon QC. So we will take the next ratio will be AQ upon QC. And we have to prove that they are in the same proportion. Same proportion means I have explained you whenever the ratios are equal, they are called in proportion. That means the two ratios are in proportion. Okay, so each and every word after the word then also we have used. So we have completed our next step, that is to prove. So before starting with actual proof, now we're going to see the construction. Now what is the construction we're going to see? See here, the simple construction is there. So we have to draw segment BQ as well as segment PC. PC or CP, any way you can write. So we have to draw segment BQ and segment PC. So we'll see what is our construction. So here the next step is construction. So draw segment PC and segment BQ. So it is very simple construction. I have shown you how we have constructed or we have joined this segment. So we have completed our next step, that is construction. Now our body of the theorem, that is the proof, will start. Okay, so first of all, here we have to take the pairs of triangle. If we will see above, here the one triangle is APQ. This is one of the triangle in the figure, APQ. With this APQ, I will take this triangle, that is BPQ. This triangle APQ and BPQ. These two triangle I am going to use. First of all, we have to take these two triangle. But this triangle, if I will rotate in this way, see here I am rotating my book only. So we have to take a figure in this way, that this will be A, B, P is here, and here the top point will be point Q. In this way we will draw the figure, and we will take these two triangle. This is point A, so it will be point A. This will be point B, and this is point P. Like this we have to take. Okay, so now first of all we will take these two pairs of triangle. So see here our proof will start. We have to take the two triangle. In this way I have explained you how the triangle we have to take. See here only APQ, BPQ. So I have just rotate this triangle in such a way that this AB will become the base. So in this way I have taken this triangle. So one of the triangle is APQ and another triangle is BPQ. Okay, in this two triangle, for triangle, if I will talk about the triangle APQ, AP will be the base, and here the height is not given. But if the height will be there, obviously this height will be drawn from the point Q this way. So this should be the height of the triangle APQ. In same way, in triangle BPQ, BP will be the base, or we can say PB. Okay, so PB will be the base of the triangle, and exactly the height should be drawn from the point Q. That means whenever we will draw the height of triangle APQ or BPQ, both the height will be same. It should be from the point Q only. So both the triangle, that is triangle APQ and triangle BPQ, these two triangles are having equal heights, and we have done the property about the areas of two triangle with equal heights. If the height is equal, the ratio will come of base. Okay, so the base of triangle APQ is nothing but AP, and the base of the triangle BPQ is nothing but PB. So in this way we will take these two triangle. So I have taken here the ratio of the two triangle, that is APQ and BPQ is nothing but base of this triangle AP and base of this triangle PB. And here the reason is area proportionate to bases, because they are having same height. Okay, now similarly we will take this two triangle is this side. First triangle is triangle APQ and the next triangle is triangle CPQ. These two triangle. Again, this figure I will rotate in this way. We have to take the figure in such a way that AC should be the base and P should be here. And here the point Q. So in this way we will take these two triangles. So I have taken here two triangles in such a way that AC should be the base. See here again AQC and P should be here. So here AQC and P should be here. So the first triangle is APQ and the next triangle is CPQ. Again, if I'll talk about APQ, AQ will be the base and the height should be drawn from the point P. So this should be the height of triangle. Similarly, in triangle CPQ, QC will be the base and if the height will be drawn, it should be drawn from the point P. So again this two triangle is having same height. So again the ratio of these two triangle is nothing but in the proportion of their bases. As the property I have explained you. If the triangle is having same height, their ratio of the area will be in the ratio of their corresponding bases. So base of this triangle is AQ and base of this triangle is nothing but QC. So we will take here triangle APQ, that means first triangle, upon triangle CPQ, that means second triangle, is nothing but AQ upon QC. And I have given it equation number 2. Again the same reason, area proportionate to bases, because these two triangles are also having common height. Okay. Now we'll compare these two triangles. If you will see the left hand side of this two triangle, here numerator is APQ. Here also numerator is APQ. That means numerator of this left hand side is equal. Now we'll talk about BPQ and CPQ. Now we'll see where these two triangles are. So here the first triangle is BPQ. So we will see BPQ. This triangle, and the next triangle is CPQ. CPQ. This triangle. And if we will see, these two triangles are lying between two parallel lines. Yes or no? So these two triangles are lying between two parallel lines. So here both the triangle CPQ and BPQ are having PQ is common base, and if we will see the height should be between these two parallel lines. And between two parallel lines, see here I will explain you again. This is line L. This is line L and this is side BC. Okay. So somewhere here point P. So first triangle BPC. This is the first triangle. After that, first triangle is BPQ. In this PQ is base. Okay. And if the height will be drawn, definitely the height will be drawn in this way from point B. Next triangle is CPQ. Again PQ will be base, and if the height we will take, exactly the height will be from point C. So base is common, that is PQ for both the triangle, and this is the height for this triangle BPQ. This is the height for the triangle CPQ, and these two heights are lying between two parallel lines, and between two parallel lines the distance are always equal. That means these two triangles are having equal height also and equal base also. So this is the fourth property. Whenever the two triangles are having equal height and equal base, the ratio of their area is equal to 1/1, or in either way we can say both the areas are equal. So we will take that whenever the two triangles lying between two parallel lines, their base and heights are equal, therefore their area will also equal according to fourth property. So here we have taken the statement the triangle BPQ and triangle CPQ are having equal base, that is side PQ, as I have explained you in the figure, and these two triangles are between two parallel sides, as PQ is parallel to BC. Hence, their heights are also equal. So, whenever the two triangles are having equal bases and equal heights, their areas are also equal. So, we will take area of triangle BPQ is equal to area of triangle CPQ. Triangle having equal height and equal bases. And I have given it equation number 3. Now we'll combine equation 1, 2 and 3. First of all, we'll see what is given in triangle. We will combine equation 1, 2 and 3. So first of all, we'll see what is given in equation 1 and 2. So in equation 1 and 2, we have got these numerators are equal. And in equation number 3, we have got that the BPQ area is equal to area of CPQ. See here, area of BPQ is equal to area of CPQ. That means this denominator BPQ is also equal to denominator CPQ. So in other way, we can say that this whole left hand side of equation 1 is equal to the whole left hand side of equation number 2. Okay, so we will compare these two. So now we will take here from equation 1, 2 and 3, both the left hand sides are equal. So APQ upon BPQ is equal to APQ upon CPQ. Now we will see what is the value of this APQ upon BPQ in equation number 1. So here the value of APQ upon BPQ is AP upon BP, and the value of APQ upon CPQ, area of triangle APQ upon area of triangle CPQ, is AQ upon QC. So these two value will going to apply there. We have to put this to substitute. We have to substitute these two values in the place of this value. So here the value of this area of triangle APQ upon BPQ in equation number 1 is AP upon PB, and the value of this area of triangle APQ upon area of triangle CPQ in equation number 2 is AQ upon QC. So we have got AP upon PB is equal to AQ upon QC. Now we'll see what is our 2 proof. So here our 2 proof is same, AP upon PB is equal to AQ upon QC. So we have proved our 2 proof. So at last we will write hence proved. So it is very important theorem. You have to do the practice of it. It is very simple. Only you have to remember that first of all we have to take this 2 triangle, and then you have to take this 2 triangle. And this 2 triangle BPQ and CPQ. These 2 triangles are lying between 2 parallel lines. Therefore, they are having equal base and equal heights. Therefore, their areas are also equal. So, what we have understood about this basic proportionality theorem, if it is given that Mn is parallel to Qr, if it is given that Mn is parallel to Qr, if it is given to us, then ratio on this side, that is Pm upon Mq, will equal to Pn upon Nr. So Pm upon Mq will be equal to Pn upon Nr. And whenever we will apply or we will take these 2 ratios are equal, we will write the reason basic proportionality theorem. Don't use the short form, full statement only you have to write. So basic proportionality theorem. So you have to remember when you have to write this reason. If it is given that one of the line or one of the segment is parallel to any one side of a triangle. But in other way, for example, one of a triangle is given to us. So I am taking here triangle X, Y, Z. Okay, and here 2 points are there, that is point D and point E. And it is given to us that this XD upon DY, XD upon DY is equal to XE upon EZ. It is equal to upon XE upon EZ. That means the ratios are given as equal. then we want to prove that this DE is parallel to YZ or not. Whenever we will prove whether this segment is parallel to this line, then it is parallel to YZ. Whenever we are proving that this segment is parallel to any one side of a triangle, then it is called converse of basic proportionality theorem. It is called, whenever we are proving that these two lines or one of the segment is parallel to any one side of a triangle, we'll use the reason converse of basic proportionality theorem. And if it is given that they are parallel, then it is basic proportionality. It is very easy. आप लोगों को याद रखना है, अगर पहले से हम लोगों को दिया होगा कि ये segment or whatever a line, whenever a segment or a line is parallel to any one side of a triangle, then we'll use the reason basic proportionality theorem. And if we're going to prove that this segment is parallel to YZ, so it is called converse of basic proportionality theorem. So I hope it is clear to you. Now we will see the practice set to 1.2, and we will going to use these two properties for solving the sum of that practice set.